Hello everyone, good morning. Sage here live from Calkine Studios, and you're watching The Early Trades, a show where we share with you a glimpse of the Australian share market opening trade scenario, along with the global and domestic drivers triggering the market's momentum. So let's get started. And stocks in Australia climbed after the S&P 500 on Wall Street rose overnight to another record closing high. The S&P ASX 200 gained 0.31% in the morning trade. By 11 a.m, the S&P ASX 200 was still up 0.58%. The top performing stocks in this index are Link Administration Holdings Limited up 11.43% and News Corporation up 6.9%. Over the last 5 days, the index has gained 2.01% and is currently 2.12% off its 52-week high. A retreat in the dollar should provide a tailwind for exporters. The Aussie turned sharply lower overnight, falling 0.91%. Growth stocks are back in favour as the long-term interest rates retreat. The US tech sector put on 1.54% and the bond proxies were mixed. Consumer discretionary gained 1.49% and industrials 0.42%. Headwinds may include the major banks. US financials sagged 1.34%. US materials slipped 0.11%, with both BHP and Rio Tinto losing ground. The Reserve Bank releases a quarterly monetary policy statement at 11:30 a.m, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, that may shed more light on the bank's rates outlook. Today's annual general meetings include Qantas, Spark, New Zealand and Integral Diagnostics. And let's look at today's IPO listings. North America-focused lithium hopeful green technology metals listed at 12 p.m, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. The company has 3 projects in Canada. Moving on now to the newsmakers. News Corp has posted a September quarter net profit of $267 million on sales, up 18%. Adjusted earnings per share nearly tripled on the prior quarter to 33 cents per share. The group flagged plans to commence a $1 billion stock buyback. And Australia's largest home loan lender, the Commonwealth Bank, has hiked fixed rates on home loans by 0.1% up to 0.5%. This is the second time in around a month the bank has hiked borrowing rates. And on Thursday, Westpac hiked rates for the second time in around 2 weeks by up to 0.21%. The moves come in response to the Reserve Bank abandoning its attempts to control 3-year bond yields and as the commercial bank's economists bring forward rate hike expectations. Funds management group Pendal said net profit was up 41.5% on revenue that was up 34.6% to $627.4 million for the financial year to September 30th, 2021. It will pay a final dividend up 11% to 24 cents per share on December 16th. The full year earnings per share climbed 17% to 48.2 cents. And Pendal finished the year with funds under management up 51% to $139.2 billion after completing the acquisition of US funds management group Thompson, Segal and Walmsley. Gas giant Woodside has hiked its 1P field reserves estimate at its Greater Pluto gas project by 10%, but cut its 2P field estimate by around 10%. It said the total reserve estimates fell by around 10%. And property classifieds business REA Group has lifted third quarter free cash flow 29% on sales, excluding acquisitions, which were up 22%. EBITDA finished up 24% and REA Group shares are up 30.3% over the past year. Jack Dorsey has explained why he bought Australian buy now pay later giant Afterpay. Jack Dorsey said Square bought Afterpay because he was attracted to its secret sauce, an ability to connect devoted customers with retailers to drive their sales. And briefing Wall Street analysts on third quarter earnings on Friday, the day after Square shareholders approved the $29 billion Afterpay acquisition, Mr. Dorsey said putting Afterpay inside Square is a central part of the US payment giant's strategy to become a commerce front end for its tens of millions of users. Mr Dorsey, the CEO and controlling shareholder of Square, also explained the larger game plan as new features are loaded into its Cash app, including contactless payments and loans to help customers buy things. He wants Cash app, which has 70 million users, to become a tool for digital and physical commerce. And thanks for joining us in the report, but that's all for now in the early morning trade. Stay tuned to Kalkine TV as we have many more shows lined up for you for sharing the live updates across the economy, markets and sectors. Sage signing off.